September 8th, 1875. That's when it all began. That's when parents Robert and Mary Renison's son was born, the man who you know as Archbishop Renison, the man from which Renison College received its name. However, who was Archbishop Renison? Where was he from? What kind of life did he live? Let's take a look, shall we? Born in Clonoulty, Ireland, a small quaint town most known for its lush, bright green rolling hillsides that laid in the backdrop of Clonoulty's small rooftops, as though it was painted on the sky itself. A town that gave true meaning to the name Emerald Isle. The air was fresh and clean as he inhaled, with only the faint scent of flowers to be noticed now and then. The cold, soft earth embraced him as he laid on the grass. The clouds, like marshmallows, floated across the deep blue sky. Clonoulty, also known for its long, endless stretches of gold glowing farmers' fields, filled with oats, potatoes, and the smell of manure that was potent enough to set one's nostrils aflame. Although always eerily quiet and peaceful. As the great, big, glowing sun beat down on the field, the sun rays bounced off and forced him to painfully squint as he stared at it. 1882 is when the Renison family packed their bags and decided to leave Ireland for a new life in a strange new country. A lump in his throat as he embraced old friends for what could be the last time, feeling himself getting warm and hot, all the pent-up emotion trying to not let it all out. The ground felt numb as he was walking towards the water towards his boat. Arriving in Canada, the air was filled with the smell of pine. The ground felt safe and sturdy as opposed to the boat he had just been on. The embrace his father gave him was warm and gave him confidence for what is to come. Robert studied at University of Toronto for a degree in theology, where he spent endless days and nights studying and working hard to build his knowledge on his path to becoming a priest. Long, hard, sleepless nights working on projects, assignments, studying, readings, until the words on the page began to get blurry. Feeling the sweat on his forehead, his eyelids felt as they had weights on them. The only thing kept him going was the sharp, bitter taste of coffee and the aroma of it filling up the room. His hand cramping from the pain of the writing and a headache starting to occur. However, he was determined to finish his education and go on to complete his dreams. After having become a priest, he was named Archdeacon of Moosonee, a town up north filled with aboriginals and fellow bishops. Moosonee, famous for its large moose population, also nicknamed the Moose Factory, used by the Hudson Bay Company for the fur trade. The air in Moosonee was harsh and cold as it shot through his nostrils, only to be filled with the scent of pines. But not only the scent, pines everywhere surrounded him. Pines, wood cabins, and nature, for as long as the eye can see. Renison taught the local aboriginals the teachings of the Bible and the church. However, it became more than simply teachings. It became a sense of community, a sense of belonging amongst the aboriginals. They accepted him and let him into their community as one of their own. There was always a strong sense of love and compassion amongst him and the natives. Wherever he looked, smiles from everyone. 1918, Archbishop Renison was conscripted by the British military as a soldier in World War I. Stationed at Boulogne, France, he was in charge of defending this town from the oncoming German invasion, spending most of his time looking over his shoulder and having a constant anxiety of what was to come next. Having to constantly maneuver in the hot and sweaty military gear through the various terrain was no easy task. The sweat from his forehead dripped down into his eyes, causing them to burn and sting, as he had to constantly look out for the enemy. Gunpowder and smoke constantly filled the air, making it harder and harder to breathe, but he made it through. 1940, World War II. Archbishop Renison was stationed as a clergyman for the Royal British Air Force in London to give spiritual and emotional support to both soldiers as well as citizens, while London was experiencing its worst bombing by the Germans at the time. There had been the constant sound of fighter planes roaring over the sky, followed by the thunderous explosions by the bombs being dropped on the city. Renison had to console and help these people by looking into their bleak, hopeless eyes and telling them it was going to be okay. Having felt a sense of accomplishment after seeing at least a slight bit of joy spark up in their eyes, that's how he knew he had done his job. After having serviced many areas of Canada, he ultimately returned back to Moosonee. He felt a connection there where he felt nowhere else. Happiness flowed through the town as well as through the local chapel. The Aboriginals and their sense of warmth and community was like nowhere else. However, just like all stories, it must come to an end. Robert John Renison passed away October 6, 1957, but he left behind his legacy and impact on not only the Anglican Church, but on Canadian society as a whole. Remembered as the loving and caring priest that he was, with the permission from his wife, the University College in Waterloo, Ontario was named after him. We carry his legacy throughout these hallways, throughout these classrooms. His essence is carried on in every student, professor, and staff member working hard to achieve their dreams.